What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff God. Hey! And we back. We back with another reaction stream. Oh, yeah. And today we will be reacting to a One Piece content creator that, I was not aware of until like yesterday, right? That goes by the name Sunlight Alliance. And the video we will be reacting to today is This Devil Fruit Theory Blew My Mind. One Piece Theory. Ooh, boy, them smoothie burps, man. They be getting me every day, man. Every time. But yeah, so this is the video we were reacting to. Again, this is my first time that I'm aware of ever even watching anything from this content creator Sunlight Alliance. But yeah, it was shared in the Discord, so I was like, you know what, I need a video. So I grabbed the video from the Discord, which is why I say the Discord is probably the best place for you guys to send videos and for me to pick up and react to those videos, right? So if you want me to react to those videos, the Discord is probably gonna be the best place. You could DM me in the Discord, or you can message. You could just put it in the theory thread if it's a theory, or the anime thread, whichever one. Probably the theory thread will be the best. But there's that. We got we got Monkey D Pee Wee in the building, and he said, "What's good? What's good, Monkey D Pee Wee? Welcome to the stream," as well as Cube. He says, "Hey guys, what's good, Cube? What's good? Welcome to the stream, y'all. Welcome to the stream. I'm happy to have y'all here with me today. I hope you guys are ready to watch another One Piece theory video." But yeah, so before I get into all of that, make sure you show your boy some love and hit that like button, as well as subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, and hit that bell for notifications. I also have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook group, so make sure you go follow me on those. And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Facebook group, as well as the One Piece Discord, which I mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream. And that will be the best place for you to send me content. But I mean, you could, I know a lot of people don't. I know there's people out there who don't have Discord. I didn't always have Discord either. So, feel free to send it to me. Send me these videos through my Instagram or my Twitter, And I will also start reacting to other videos, not just theories, right? Not just theories. If y'all see like maybe a good fan made One Piece fight or animation, or just something funny, I don't know, just send me those, especially if it has a good bit of time on it. If it's like 2 minutes, I can't do a whole stream for a 2-minute video unless y'all send me a couple shorts, right? If y'all send me a few shorts, maybe I'll react to a couple of them within one stream. So that's your guys' prerogative, though. Cube said, "A bit under the weather," and you, man, I hope you feel better, man. I hope you get better. I hope that's not the whole coronavirus going on around. I hope it's not anything serious, but yeah, man, I hope you get better, man. I'm doing good. You might have been directing that to Monkey D Pee Wee, though. I think that's who you was directing that to. But yeah. But anyway, okay, let's talk about this video before we get into the video. All right, because we got this video about these devil fruits. Now, judging by the actual thumbnail of the video that I seen, had like Adam and Eve, or like Eve with a devil fruit given to Adam, kind of like in the Bible we have the forbidden fruit, right? So I'm assuming that this theory has something to do, of course, with devil fruits, but also with possibly the Adam and Eve tree. You know, I think there are theories out there that pretty much speculate that devil fruits come from the Adam and Eve tree. You know, I read one where I think from what we know, the Adam tree, I think, you know, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, or I think it's the Eve tree is the Eve tree is on Mary Joah, right? Is on top of the red line where Mary Joah is. And its roots pretty much go all the way down to the ocean, to the sea, and that's pretty much what gives fishermen light. Right now, we don't know exactly what it looks like on the top of the red line, but we know that it comes down to the bottom of the red line and gives light, gives like sunlight to the Fishman Island, right? But we don't know where the other tree is yet, right? The Adam tree, you know, which I think, you know, that's the other one, not on Mary Joah or on top of the red line. Now, and I've read theories that pretty much say that the Adam tree could be in Elbath, right? You know, we watched a theory a couple weeks ago where I think it was Sawyer 7 Mage. I think that was the video we watched, and he talked about that the Adam tree might be in Elbath, and you know, and that could possibly reach the Skypea or whatever, and that's how they get devil fruits of Skypea, you know. And Elbath pretty much it's kind of the protected tree. Like, I don't know if they actively protect it, but you know, like what we know from the Adam tree is, I think that's where Frankie got his wood from, got the wood for the Sunny from, and he said something about the wood, the tree being in a war torn country or something along that line, that the tree is in a country that sees a lot of war, right? And you know, people speculate that, you know, especially Elbath being a bunch of giants that kind of look like Viking warriors, right? And what we know from Viking warriors are they're fighting. They fight a lot, right? So it would make sense that their country is it's a country with a lot of war in it, right? So, you know, that was kind of the speculation for that theory. Cube says, I had Rona a few weeks ago, just tired from work. Yeah, man, work can definitely kick your butt sometimes. But yeah, I mean, so if it's just tiredness, you know, at least it's not, you know, that virus again. And it's good that you got over that virus. It's good to, you know, I think I had it a couple weeks ago as well, you know, but it didn't really hit me that hard. Cause I know I was with a friend who pretty much got diagnosed it around the same time I was hanging with him, right? He took me to the grocery store. So yeah, I think I had it around that time. You know, I know my throat was scratchy, and I wasn't coughing a lot, but I was coughing every now and then. But yeah, you know, I had an itchy throat, you know. Sometimes I had like little slight headaches, but it didn't hit me that hard. And then Cube said, correct, Mary Joah. Yeah, I thought so. Monkey D. Pee Wee said, I know how you feel. I'm very tired from work and gym. Weather is shocking in the UK ATM. There's a storm going on. Yeah, man, I hope y'all you know, get beyond this tiredness that y'all suffering, you know. So and Q said, we got a few days ago in Belgium, the storm. Okay, y'all talking about that. I'm gonna let y'all talk in the chat about that. But let's get to this video, because you guys are tired and I don't want to keep you guys here all night, because I know it's like midnight, 1 o'clock, something around that time over there in the UK. So I want you guys to get some rest. So let's get this video going. And the link to this will be in the description box, as well as all my other social media links. So make sure y'all go to his channel and show some support. Maybe go like the video, and check out some of his other stuff. Maybe subscribe. But let's go.
Discuss 3 insane theories regarding the story of One Piece.
Welcome back, Sunlight Alliance. This is your captain speaking.
First, we're going to take a peek at God's Valley and what could have taken place. Second, we will look closer at the mystery of the devil fruits and how they connect to the sacred treasure of Mary Joie. And finally, I will be telling a story, specifically the story of the Void Century. What happened on God's Valley?
I will tell y'all one thing, man. This guy has a lot of energy, man. He's a high energy YouTuber. Like just from the moment he starts the video, it's just a lot of energy, man. I wish I had the energy he had, bro. That he got. But let's continue.
Valley. This battle was one of the most insane confrontations known to us in the story of One Piece. The fight against the Rox pirates could have rivaled that of even the Paramount War. But why did it happen? What was Rox's true ambition? And how did this affect the future of not just the One Piece world, but the characters involved like Kaido and Big Mom? I would like to debunk a common theory regarding where God's Valley was. A lot of people have speculated that this battle could have taken place on the moon or on top of the Red Line. This conclusion is usually backed by the idea that the name God's Valley represents a kingdom from above the One Piece world, where those who controlled the land ruled over the Blue Sea, which also sounds a lot like Mary Joie. So the concept of it being on the Red Line makes sense, but the physical application doesn't. We have to remember that it was stated that God's Valley was an island on the Blue Sea that was wiped from the maps of the world after the incident took place. Thus, this theory just doesn't add up. On another note, there is a very important question that could explain a lot about the current story as well as this mysterious battle. How do Kaido and Big Mom know so much? Let's take what we know and...
Monkey D. Pee-wee said, I could use some of that energy. Hey, man, I know what you mean, bro. Like, sometimes, man, doing these streams, man, summoning the energy for these streams be tough. That's why every time I start these streams, I always try to start off with a lot of energy. So, to give you guys, But yeah, he does have a high level of energy though.
and put some pieces together. Roger made it to Lodestar, the last island of the New World, 39 years ago, where he learned the secrets of the Poneglyphs and the Kozuki clan. There has to be a missing piece of information from this one-year time period regarding the rivalry between Rox and Roger. The dates are just too close together not to be connected. I don't think it's out of the realm of speculation to assume Rox could have made it there as well, since he was determined to learn the secrets of the world and eventually rule it. This could explain why Kaido knows about the importance of Wano and the Kozuki. Another thing to consider is Rox, Kaido, and Big Mom never had a crewmate with the ability to read the Poneglyphs, so the information they have is not based on things they've read on Poneglyphs. I know what you're thinking, what about Pudding? Couldn't she be the one giving information to Big Mom based on the Poneglyphs she's found? And there are two things wrong with that statement. So 1, the awakening of a Three-Eyed Tribe member only allows them to hear the voice of all things. 2, Pudding was not alive during God's Valley, nor has she been shown to have awakened this ability. Thus, Big Mom isn't getting any information from her.
But, I would say, like, they could have had somebody, though, right? Because when did the O'Hara incident happen, right? Like, I never compared the timeline, especially with O'Hara and this. So, if it happened after the whole God's Valley thing, right? There was a handful of people who did in fact have the ability to read poneglyphs, right? So who's to say that, there aren't other guys out there in the world who are from O'Hara that especially around that time, maybe there was more people. So I would think maybe they weren't all at O'Hara at the time or at all times, right? So maybe Zabek could have got his hands on somebody who was from O'Hara or something, Maybe they could have been part of the crew for a little bit. I don't know. Now, O'Hara, the citizens of O'Hara don't seem like they really into that pirate life, so maybe not. But I'm just kind of adding that caveat that could be a possibility.
One idea brings us back to King. King was at the age of 9 during this incident, and from what we can see from his flashback, he wasn't that much older, maybe just a teenager when Kaido recruited him after being experimented on. As a Lunarian, it's possible that he could have extensive knowledge of the secrets of the One Piece world, which he could have told Kaido about. However, based on new information from Chapter 1035, Kaido knew of the Lunarians long before recruiting King, so how does Kaido know about them, and how does he know about Joy Boy? We already know that Joy Boy and Wano are connected. We speculated earlier that Rox and his crew are likely to have made it to Lodestar, which would explain Kaido's knowledge of Wano's importance. Kaido took over Wano with the intention of raising the most powerful pirate crew away from government interference. It's possible that there at Wano he learned of Joy Boy. Oden, during his voyage with Roger, learned the importance of Joy Boy and that he would be arriving on Wano in the near future. Before Oden died, maybe he told Kaido that even though he would die soon, somebody named Joy Boy would come in his place and defeat Kaido. This is something that we could see in Kaido's flashback going forward. However, I am now purely in the realm of speculation. It's just an intriguing thought. Now, how did Rox know about God's Valley? Rox never went to Laugh Tale. Roger has been the only one in 800 years to learn the ancient history, thus Rox couldn't have known what occurred in the Void Century. This leads me to believe that God's Valley must have been a place known to people at the time. And I'm talking people of importance, not like random civilians from the Four Blues, but pirates across the Grand Line and civilizations near it, and obviously the Marines who are shown to be there fighting. This
Cube says 39 years exactly. Shanks and Buggy age. That was what? That was the O'Hara incident. Well, that makes sense because Robin is kind of around their age, I would think. So I guess so. The O'Hara incident happened. The O'Hara incident happened 39 years ago. Or man, I'm confused now, man. Like, Q, you're gonna have to kind of break it down because I'm confused. Now I'm confused. But yeah, but Monkey D. Pee Wee said, I do believe O'Hara was after God's Valley. Okay. Yeah, so if O'Hara happened after God's Valley, that means maybe there could have been somebody around who knew about the poneglyphs. Like, maybe like Rox could have had somebody who could read the poneglyphs. Maybe. I don't know. That's tough. But Cube says this idea of mine of Rox being the father of Shanks is making more sense. LOL. Dang, I never knew that. I never knew you had that theory, man. Rox being the father of Shanks. I heard of the theory that Rox could be the father of Blackbeard. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why one of my theories, or I mean, not that specifically, not that reason, but one of my theories when it comes to Blackbeard having multiple souls within him is that maybe Rox D. Zebek could be one of those souls, right? So Rox D. Zebek could be still alive, living through Blackbeard, right? That's just kind of one of my theories. I know we kind of did a theory video yesterday, but that's why I'd like the idea of Blackbeard having multiple souls. Now, again, I don't really have much to support that, but and Sunlight Alliance, who's in the building, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream, Sunlight Alliance. As you see, I'm reacting to your video, so. But yeah, man, appreciate it. Instant sub, appreciate it. But Q says 39 years since Roger find out about the last island. Okay. So, man, that timeline is wild. And then he says, hey man, then we got Evil in the chat. What up, Evil? He says, hey, what's going on? What up, man? Today we talking about devil fruits, bro. We talking about devil fruits. And I'm thinking this theory is gonna go along the line of the Adam and Eve tree, but I'm not too sure just yet. I'm just kind of predicting that based off of the thumbnail in Sunlight Alliance's video, right? The thumbnail. So Monkey D. Pee Wee says, yeah, I think he is as well, because when Shanks went on Whitebeard's ship, I believe Whitebeard said, seeing your face make my scar hurt. Could be wrong, and I think he's on about Zebek. Okay, and then he says, because they did used to fight all the time on the crew. Are you talking about Zebek being Blackbeard's father, or are you talking about Shanks, or Zebek being Shanks' father? But let's continue the video.
This place had to have been known in the same way Mary Joie is known today. However, this idea makes you wonder, why doesn't anybody remember it? The main questions that always come up when talking about what occurred during this battle is, why did Rox choose to attack God's Valley? Why did Roger and Garp protect the Celestial Dragons? And did Whitebeard betray Rox during this battle, causing some of the issues Kaido has today?
They said that Whitebeard betray Rox? Yeah, I mean, it always kind of astounds me, right? How Whitebeard ended up being in the crew of somebody like Zebek, right? But I talked to Cube. I think it was Cube I was talking to, and his theory is that Zebek pretty much like Big Mom, Whitebeard, and Kaido all ended up on Zebek's crew through the Davy back fight, right? And I would say that's probably true for at least Whitebeard and Big Mom. I don't know much about Kaido, because Kaido was young at that time, you know. He was a cabin boy, so I think he might have even been a kid at that point. I'm not too sure, but yeah, he was a cabin boy, so he might have kind of been recruited, you know, unless he was on some other crew and then he wanted to do a Davy back fight. Yeah, as far as why would they protect the Celestial Dragons, bro, I don't know. Especially somebody like Roger. Well, Garp too, because Garp hates the Celestial Dragons, you know. And hey, man, let's see if he got the answers to these questions, because those are some good questions. I'm trying to figure out. Monkey D. Pee Wee says Shank's father. Okay.
Whitebeard betray Rox during this battle, causing some of the issues Kaido has today? Now, we have little to no information to go off of here, but I have some ideas that seem like fun to toss around. So first, why did Roger fight alongside the Marines? From what we know of Rox, his ideals stood in the way of Roger's dream. Rox wanted to rule the world, where Roger wanted to be the freest man on the seas. Both dreams required unrivaled power, yet completely clashed with each other. Furthermore, Roger was not there to protect the Celestial Dragons, but simply Rox stood in the way of his dream of achieving total freedom. If Rox ruled the world, Roger and his friends would never be able to be free. In correlation, Garp was there not to protect the Celestial Dragons, but to stop Rox from attaining the power to turn the world into chaos.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the reason. Like, I don't think Garp or Roger would be out there protecting Celestial Dragons, right? You know, it's just their actions were almost translated as they were protecting the Celestial Dragon, especially in Garp's case, right? Especially for Garp, because the Marine, you know, like if you spin it that Garp and let's say a pirate like Roger were protecting the Celestial Dragons, that is what pretty much made Garp the hero of Marines. But at the same time, we know Garp don't like Celestial Dragons, so again, I don't think he was there specifically protecting the Celestial Dragons. And it was more of something of him trying to fight somebody he just thought was too much of a threat to be around, right? So I agree with that line of thought. I don't think they were there protecting the Celestial Dragons. But yeah, let's continue. I had something else to say, but I kind of forgot. But Q says since the Davy back fights were created in Hashinosu, where the Rock Pirates first formed, so it's possible. It's definitely possible. I think, I honestly think that's kind of a good explanation of how somebody like Whitebeard could serve somebody like Zebek, right? Like, I don't see Whitebeard being somebody who serves somebody else, right? I mean, unless he was a young Whitebeard, that's different. But if we're talking like the Whitebeard at the age that he was under Zebek, I would think at that point he'd be trying to, have his own crew or do his own thing,
Or another idea for Garp is that he was there to protect the Celestial Dragons under orders, and it was then he learned how awful they as well as the world government could really be, and this is why he stayed a Vice Admiral from that day forward. Finally, I want to talk about Whitebeard. Why did Whitebeard betray Rox, and how did this change Kaido's view of pirates going forward? We know that Kaido has some serious trust issues. However, it would be extremely understandable if this was the reason why. One thing that would make sense to me is if the world government was hiding powerful fruits here to keep them away from pirates like Rox. Why do I think this? Rox's ambition was to be king of the world, or at least that's what the government wants us to think, which is an idea meant for an entirely different video, but in order to be king, you'd probably need the strongest power in the world too, right? We know that
power.
somehow during this battle, Big Mom gave Kaido his fruit, and what does Sengoku say about Whitebeard's fruit? He has the power to destroy the world. We have never been told how Whitebeard got his fruit. If the world government wanted the Opi Opi no Mi and the Gomu Gomu no Mi in their control, it would make sense if they had this one in their possession as well to keep pirates from attaining this incredible power. What if he was convinced to switch sides by Roger and prevented Rox from getting this insane power, leading to his defeat? This could also explain why Kaido wanted to go to Marineford to settle an old score. This would also tie Blackbeard more to Rox, with not only inheriting his will, but the devil fruit power he originally wanted coming back full circle. I think there's still a lot more to this, but there is definitely a connection between Blackbeard and Rox. I want you to go in the comment section and tell me what you think happened to God's Valley after this incident. Why was it seemingly wiped from existence? Was something moved or maybe hidden? I'm curious to know if the power used to wipe the God's Valley incident seemingly from the history books was also the same power used to erase the memory of the Void Century and the things that happened during it. I do think devil fruits could have played a crucial role in the motivations of this battle, which leads us into our next topic, the secret of the devil.
Thinking about it though, right? Thinking about it, like, what happened with God Valley incident? Like, what happened to God Valley? What happened to the island or the actual physical place of God Valley, right? I mean, I kind of had two theories that I just kind of thought of what could have possibly happened, right? And it's kind of based off of who was there, right? Like, now one thing I think could have happened was maybe Whitebeard, Whitebeard, especially if he has devil fruit at the time, maybe he could have sunk it, right? Maybe he could have used his ability to pretty much destroy the island, right? Like maybe he betrayed Rox. He helped join Roger and Garp in their fight. Like maybe it was the middle of fight and he kind of switched sides, middle of fight, kind of like with what he's saying, Sunlight Alliance is saying that Whitebeard betrayed him. And maybe at the end of the fight, there was something where it was like, look, it's better if we just kind of get rid of this island, right? Like we just get rid of this island. Maybe there was some secrets there that shit didn't need to go out or something. I don't know. But if Whitebeard used his devil fruit to somehow maybe sink the island, or it could have been something similar except with the Yami Yami no Mi, and if let's say Zebek had the Yami Yami no Mi, maybe after losing, I don't know, maybe he just felt as though maybe he had his reasons to pretty much use the Yami Yami no more to pretty much, absorb it within the darkness, I guess. So I think those are two likely, explainable reasons. Those are just me. Let's put my tinfoil hat on and speculating though. Monkey D. Pee Wee says, Whitebeard says, just seeing your face makes the wound given by that bastard ache again. So Shanks could look like Zebek, or he could be referring to Roger because Shanks was his apprentice. Okay, I mean, I think it might have been Roger. That's not one of that. That's not something I have to look at that moment again. I never even really thought about what he could have meant. But I would think maybe I would think it's Roger he's talking about. Unless it's common knowledge that Zebek is Shanks' dad. If it's like common knowledge and Whitebeard is aware of it, then I could see maybe it could be Blackbeard or Zebek he's talking about. But I would venture to say it's Goldie Roger he's talking about. And then Q said, always liked the idea that if Rox had the Yami, it could be that made the island disappear. Yeah, like maybe it was a last resort type thing. Like maybe he was trying to take everybody with him on the island, right? Like maybe Zebek was defeated and was on death's door, and it was like a last resort type thing, and he just did it to where he just created like a vortex, like a black hole or something, and it just absorbed the island, and everybody pretty much had to escape. Like it could have been something along that line, right? Let's continue.
Fruits. Where do devil fruits come from? A question that's been tossed around the community for over 2 decades, and today I'm going to pose an insane idea that could explain this 25-year-old question, how it could also mean the sacred treasure of Mary Joie is Sunlight Tree Eve, and why all of this could foreshadow the next arc of One Piece. To start off at the most basic level, we know that Mary Joie is located on top of the Red Line, directly above Fishman Island. An interesting thing that we learned during the Fishman Island arc is that the residents are able to get sunlight due to Sunlight Tree Eve's unique roots, which all carry light all the way up to, or I guess in this case down to, 10,000 feet below surface level. If you were to draw a quick sketch of how this would look from a vertical 2D perspective, it's safe to assume that since Sunlight Tree Eve's roots are at Fishman Island, then the top of the tree should be straight up blossoming over or around Mary Joie. This theory could explain the vegetation we see there during the Reverie arc when being introduced to Emu. It's almost as if Emu is admiring it and the light that it gives, which would be horribly ironic given his or her prerogative. On a side note, I would like to quickly debunk a theory surrounding this idea that Sunlight Tree Eve is actually at Mary Joie. So I've seen some people speculate that this idea could also tie up another loose end, that being how it never gets dark at Enies lobby. However, Sunlight Tree Eve produces sunlight via its roots purely by absorbing sunlight from the surface. So this just means that when it's sunny on the surface, it's sunny on Fishman Island, and when it's nighttime on the surface, it's nighttime on Fishman Island. Plus, the Red Line is just too far away from Enies lobby for this idea to make sense in the first place.
Yeah, I seen a theory about that as well. I didn't really agree with it. It made sense, but I thought I kind of figured that Enies lobby was a little too far from the Red Line in order for that to be true. Because think about it. Sabaody, it's right next to the Red Line, right? It's like probably the closest island that we seen, at least in the Grand Line, as far as in the Grand Line, that's close to the Red Line, right? So if anything, Sabaody, that island should be getting like non-stop sunlight, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't. So I don't think it's a case of the Eve tree giving off sunlight at the top. You know what I'm saying? And also the fact that Enies lobby is just too far, right? It's too far. Monkey D. Pee Wee says, do you think Zebek was as evil as Sengoku said? Because we know the Marines world government like to exaggerate about pirates and how evil they actually are. We see it with the Straw Hats. That is a good question. Cause it's hard to answer because, you know, the little we know from Zebek, you know, and what is good and evil, right? Good and evil is a pretty relative thing, you know, like if, you know, like even villains are the heroes in their own story, right? They're the heroes of their story. So, you know, Zebek might have had his reasons. He might have thought of himself as a hero, but, you know, from what we've seen, he did bad things, you know. But if you even look at the Gods Valley incident, though, he kind of looked more like the hero, right? Like the fact that Roger and Garp were the ones protecting the celestial dragons who had slaves at that time, right? But while Zebek was the attacking force, you know. Now I don't think Zebek probably didn't have good intentions going to God's Valley though. I don't know if his intentions was to save slaves or anything. So I can't say he was some knight in shining armor. But again, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. You know, like if he's the exact opposite of somebody like Roger, then yes, I could see him being quote unquote evil. Right, because Roger had good intentions. You know, he didn't like hurting people that don't deserve it. At least, you know, he never been somebody who oppressed people or anything. He's kind of like Luffy. He just likes that freedom. So, if he's like the opposite of Roger, I would probably say he was probably a bad guy. He was probably a bad guy. But let's continue.
Alright, so we got the basic stuff out of the way, now let's get a little crazy with a few questions. 1. Where do all of these government officials / Marines get their devil fruits from? Was it just a coincidence that Spandam ended up with the corresponding zone-type devil fruits for CP9 right after convincing the Elder Stars to permit the recovery of the ancient weapons? I think it's clear that the world government provided these fruits. If Sunlight Tree Eve were a devil fruit tree, it would give the world government a cesspool of powerful devil fruits at their disposal. This could also explain why so many top-tier Marines like the Admirals have the most overpowered devil fruits in the One Piece world. Question number 2. Why did Doflamingo care so much about this treasure? He wanted a world of chaos. In order to do this, he needed to have unrivaled power at his beckoning call. Having an alliance with Kaido gave him a future where this was possible, and what was Kaido trying to do exactly? Create an army of devil fruit users, specifically zone type. Dofi states that with this treasure, he could have dominated the world already. Now finally, question number 3. Who else said those words? Big Mom. She states during the Whole Cake Island arc that if Lola had married Loki, she would have dominated everybody by now. But wait, how does that connect? Isn't this supposed to be about how Sunlight Tree Eve is the devil fruit tree? Well, yes, but not the only tree. Let me explain. To recap, we just discussed how the world government possesses many powerful devil fruits, and how this explains why people like the Admirals get such insane powers. However, if the world government had a devil fruit tree under their control, they surely wouldn't be letting them out into the world to be consumed by the very people they work so hard to oppress. This is why Sunlight Tree Eve isn't the only devil fruit tree. The other tree, which you've probably guessed by now what I'm about to say, is actually...
Bro, every time I see that gif for the dude, you know, like his mind is blown. That just always make me laugh, man. But yeah. So again, you know, we're going on to the Atom Tree, right? We're talking about the Atom Tree, and this is even more evidence. Kind of what he said is a little more evidence, and I'm pretty sure this might be where he's going as well, because he said Big Mom believed if she was able to marry off Lola to Loki, the Prince of Elbaf, right, she would have been able to dominate, right? And why? Why would she be able to dominate? Because Elbaf has the Atom Tree, the treasure tree Atom. But I'm gonna let him say it, because I'm pretty sure that's where he's about to go with this.
Treasure Tree Adam. Both of these trees are clear references to the biblical story of Adam and Eve, in which the characters are directed by God not to eat the fruit from the tree, and that to do so would be a sin. they both give in to their desire and eat the sinful fruit of the tree and then are subsequently cursed for all eternity. Sounds familiar, right? What's often accompanied by a sin and also said to be the reason sin exists in the first place?
The devil.
And what happens when someone from the One Piece world eats a devil fruit? They are cursed by the devil of the sea and lose the ability to swim. To jump back to what Big Mom stated, who was Lola going to marry? Loki, the Prince of Elbaf. During our first glimpse of Elbaf, what do we see? A giant tree. Also, when Treasure Tree Adam was being explained to us, it stated that many wars were fought around Treasure Tree Adam until the warriors decided to build a nation around it. Not to mention that in Norse mythology, which the giants in One Piece are heavily based on, the world is built around a huge tree called Yggdrasil. If all these wars are fought around Treasure Tree Adam,
Yo, hey, shout out to him, cause I don't know how to say the name of that tree of Norse mythology. That's like a confusing, weird name, but he was able to say it. So shout out to him. You know, I knew that's where he was going. I knew he was going to bring that up, but like I'm like, I wonder if he could say it. Like how is it said? Cause I could never say that Yggdrasil. Let me go back. I'm trying to say it.
Huge tree called Yggdrasil. If all these wars are
Yggdrasil. I think I'm saying it right. Yggdrasil.
fought around Treasure Tree Adam, wouldn't it make sense if the intense battles between the mightiest warriors on the seas shook the tree, causing fruits to fall and spread across the ocean? Like I stated earlier, the world government would not want the power of the devil fruits just floating through the Grand Line, waiting to be consumed by the rest of the world. However, if some were coming from Elbaf, there would be no way for the world government to control or prevent that from happening. Finally, another person besides the top brass of the world government who we know is obsessed with attaining the most powerful devil fruits is Blackbeard. What do we all know the next arc to be? Elbaf. If this theory is true, it would give Blackbeard the incentive to go to Elbaf, which could lead to our Shanks, Blackbeard, Straw Hat conflict that we've all been expecting since the Paramount War. With the Shanks movie coming and Blackbeard's eerie comments about making his move during the
I wonder where Big Mom fits in all that, because, you know, like, most people speculate that Big Mom is going to be in Elbaf. So, like, that's more her time to be defeated. So I wonder where Big Mom would come into play in Elbaf. You know, I mean, you know, Big Mom has a lot of history with Elbaf, right? When she was a kid, she killed one of those elder leaders, right? And they pretty much banished her and Mother Caramel, and Mother Caramel was even willing to leave because she didn't want to give up Big Mom so easily, right? Like, but she left Elbaf, and I know she didn't want to leave Elbaf, but she had to because Big Mom was like her ace in the hole, right? It was probably her biggest come up. You know, she gives the world government somebody like Big Mom. Oh my goodness, Big Mom would have been scary as an admiral. She would have been scary. Like, I don't know who would have been worth like who. She might have been. She could have potentially be the most OP of all the admirals, right? Like maybe Sengoku probably would have had to stop her or something. You know, Sengoku or Garp. You know, I don't know if the I don't want to say the current admirals. I mean the current. When I say current admirals, I mean the pre-time skip current admirals, right? The original current admirals that we started with, the Kizaru, Akiji, Akainu, like them three. You know, like I don't know if they would have been able to beat Big Mom. I don't know. I think Big Mom would have probably been stronger than them. You know, but yeah, let's continue. Pee Wee says sounds spot on to me. I can't remember what you unless you're talking about the whole Zebek being evil thing, I think. But yeah, that makes sense. Let's continue though.
Time in between acts of Wano, it all feels like something really big is coming regarding these figures.
Cube said Big Mom is basically the Fast and Furious franchise of One Piece. She's always back for a sequel. Always back for a sequel. Even though we didn't ask for it. And she got family family power though. Oh man. What's a why do you need to be a D when you got family? Why you gotta be part of the D clan when you got family? Oh man, that's funny.
Conclusion, the world government has a private supply of devil fruits that are provided via Sunlight Tree Eve, and they are doing their best to get a hold of powerful devil fruits scattered across the Red Line that came due the results of giants constantly waging wars around Treasure Tree Adam, which is the other devil fruit tree located in Elbaf. Man, without context, that just sounds absolutely bonkers. Or maybe it still sounds bonkers after this video. I don't know. You guys can make that decision. Something that I would like to quickly add is in regards to the Tree of Knowledge on Ohara, which is stated to be over 5,000 years old. And in the story of Adam and Eve, the Tree of Knowledge is the tree that the fruit came from. So I feel like there is a connection between the Tree of Knowledge and the trees Adam and Eve in the One Piece world. However, I couldn't piece together what it could be. The mystery of the devil fruits, the mystery of the God's Valley incident, it all goes back to the Void Century. The Great Kingdom, the clan of the Deed.
The only thing the one thing I guess I would see with the Tree of Knowledge is the fact that, you know, knowledge is almost kind of like the forbidden fruit, right? Like when you think of the Tree of Knowledge in the Garden of Eden, the pretty much the tree that the God told Adam and Eve to stay away from, you know, and don't eat the fruit from that tree, right? So in this case, the fruit would just be the knowledge, right? Not the literal devil fruit, but the fruit from that is the knowledge of the Oharians, right? So the government pretty much destroyed those people because they had the knowledge. They knew too much. So I'm not saying that the tree specifically gives people knowledge, but it's just kind of more of a symbolic thing though. I think that's kind of connection. It's more of a symbolic thing. It's the fact that these historians, these lovers of knowledge, you know, that was kind of like their hub of knowledge. Like the Tree of Knowledge was their hub of knowledge. So just based off of that, they were pretty much condemned by the world government. But again, as far as it pertains to the Adam tree and the Eve tree and the overall story, I don't have nothing for it either. I don't have nothing for it either.
The ones living under the prosperous rule of Joy Boy, alongside the moon immigrants, the Shandians, and all of their technological advancements, were becoming powerful and spreading influence throughout the world. People of all races and all walks of life dreamed of traveling to this great kingdom to experience this lifestyle of freedom for themselves. However, this wasn't possible due to the separation of the seas via the Red Line. Joy Boy's dream was to throw the biggest party the world has ever seen, and in order to do this, he needed to destroy the parts of the Red Line that separated the world. That way he could unite everybody. A very selfish reason for a very selfless act. Joy Boy would use Pluton to destroy these points on the Red Line, creating the All Blue, which carries the...
Notice when he say Pluton, what does he got up there? Like what? Let me when he said Pluton, what do he got? He got the Sunny, and I believe that the Sunny is kind of a miniature version of Pluton, right? Because why do I say this? You know, I mean, I've said this before, but why do I say this? Because as far as we know, Frankie is the only person, you know, he was the person who had the blueprints to Pluton. You know, him and I would say Iceberg probably seen the blueprints to Pluton as well. You know, so I think if anybody has the knowledge of Pluton, it would be Frankie and Iceberg, right? And knowing Frankie, he probably remembers the blueprints by heart. You know, like he has a very sharp mind for things like ships and inventions, right? So I would think Frankie would remember how to build Pluton, and in him building the Sunny, I think he probably incorporated a lot of designs from Pluton itself, like that cannon that's in the front of Sunny, that's in Sunny's mouth, right? That we see on the screen right now. So I think that cannon is something that was taken from Pluton. You know, now is it as powerful as Pluton? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. You know, because don't be surprised at the end of the series if we get if we get like a scene where the Sunny turns into something like a mech or something. Kind of like if you ever watched Black Clover, where they had like their little home base and it turns to a big ass mech, right? If something like that happens with Sunny, don't be surprised. I hope it doesn't. Don't get me wrong. I don't like stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like mechs, but leave mechs into like anime mech, like mech animes, you know. But I don't want to see Sunny turn into a mech. But don't be surprised if it does. Monkey D. Pee Wee said, if Luffy defeats Big Mom in Elbaf, do you think Cat will take over the Big Mom pirates? I've heard some people speculate she could get amnesia again, and that's why Cat would take over. Do I think she would take over? I mean, if she dies or get amnesia, maybe, you know, like a permanent amnesia, yeah. But if she's still alive, probably not. Unless she retires. Like, I could see maybe Big Mom eventually maybe retiring because maybe she realizes past her time. Like, maybe after Luffy succeeds at becoming Pirate King, maybe she's like, you know what? I'm done. I give up. And then Katakuri becomes the leader of the Big Mom Pirates. Something along that line, you know? You know, if like one of those three scenarios. Let's continue.
All blue, which carries the hidden symbolism of joining everybody together, as well as the tangible result of allowing easier travel from all seas by connecting them as a whole. With the power of Poseidon, Joy Boy would pull the Noah to the surface with the entirety of the Fishman Island residents upon it, and finally with the power of Uranus, he would immigrate the people of the sky to the surface of the earth, and finally everybody would be together. Emu became aware of Pluton, Uranus, and Poseidon. This being was scared of their power. Let's not forget the concept introduced in Water 7. The battleships that Frankie made were built for a good cause, but ended up in the wrong hands, the world government's hands. Emu created the 5 Elder Stars and had them convince the 20 kingdoms of the world to destroy the Great Kingdom, using this concept to influence them through fear. This moral conflict has been the overarching narrative of the Marines and the world government throughout the series. If the power of the ancient weapons were in Emu's control, then they would have the perfect dictatorship over the One Piece world, and the ancient kingdom or its people would not be a threat. We already know how powerful Poseidon and Pluton are, but what about Uranus? Uranus, the ability to control dragons, not just any type of dragon, but the...
Oh, that's a lot different than what I believe it is. It's interesting though. I want to hear what he has to say. Like me personally, I think it has something to do with the weather. You know, I think that would be more of a practical, a more practical situation. You know, if Uranus controlled the weather, that'd be more practical. Because seeing how we don't really have a lot of dragons in One Piece, you know, other than an artificial one that Vegapunk created that you see on screen right now. We have 2 devil fruit users, one being an artificial devil fruit user, and Kaido and Momonosuke. We also did have a there was a filler episode. I think it was like early in the series when like they were still in the East Blue. There were like these millennial dragons or something. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but we had those dragons. But I think that was filler, right? So I mean, I don't know what dragons you would be controlling in the world, unless there's some hidden dragons, like maybe they're hibernating, right? Maybe the dragons of the One Piece world are hibernating in the Red Sea. see how I'm taking Eliz's theory. Maybe they're hiding in the Red Sea, and when you get out Uranus, you could pretty much summon them or something. I don't know. You know, I've heard that a theory that Uranus has something to do with giants, though. You know, I also heard a theory, like it was a Reddit theory that I did about a month or two ago, where it talked about Uranus being something that not controlled giants, but something that has to be operated by giants. And me personally, just going off that, I kind of believe that Uranus is a big old weather machine that maybe needs a giant or two to operate, right? And the reason why I think that is because, you know, when we look at Uranus, right? Uranus is he's like the god of the sky. So I think it has something to do with the sky, and that's when we look at something destructive that usually is associated with the sky, we look at weather, right? Because you see these storm clouds, you could have hurricanes, you could make tornadoes, you could have heavy rains that create floods, kind of like I forget that big old weather phenomenon in Water 7, where it's like a monsoon or something. But yeah, so I think Uranus has something to do with weather, you know. But it's funny you say dragons, because now I'm kind of thinking maybe Monkey D. Dragon. You know, like me and Cube kind of went back and forth about maybe Nami being, like, we kind of joked and we talked about Nami possibly being Uranus, right? Because she could control weather. She has a heavy talent for being able to predict weather. You know, I mean, with very minimal, like, actual resources to predict things. Like, she could just feel the air and be like, hey, I think we need to go to the left because something dangerous is coming from the east, so we need to go west, right? So that's kind of one reason why we talked about Nami, is just her knack for weather, right? Like, it's almost like a superhuman ability for Nami. But on the other hand, Monkey D. Dragon, you know, he's also speculated to have weather abilities, right? You know, we've seen in Logtown, like, all these heavy winds and the storms and everything followed. Back in the Gold Kingdom, he pretty much saved Sabo. I think he saved Luffy and Ace at one point as well. But, like, we see, like, a big old, like, a beam of wind pretty much clear a path of when the kingdom was burning. Or not the kingdom, but the I forget what you call that specific area where all the like the poor people pretty much operated, and that's where Luffy and Ace and Sabo hung out at, you know. But yeah. Monkey D. P-Way said, I'm going to get off up early again. Keep up the good work. Shout out to Monkey D. Pee-wee for hopping in the chat. Hey, you have a good night. Hope you have a good day tomorrow at work. But appreciate you stopping through, man. Really appreciate it. I know y'all stay up late, especially you guys in the UK. Y'all stay up late to watch these streams I do. So I really do appreciate that. But let's get through this.
The ancient winged dragons of the One Piece world. In Chinese mythology, the Dragon King is the most powerful of dragons. The Dragon King is depicted as human and is said directly in the Chinese lore to have control over the 4 great seas of China. Yep, the north, south, east, and west. Winged dragons are all associated with rain and floods. The Dragon King would be Uranus, and the person who wielded the power of Uranus would be able to manipulate the seas with the power of the winged dragon. Aqua Laguna introduced us to the concept
Aqua
of floods
Laguna.
during Water 7, and in the wrong hands, maybe Uranus could be used to restart the world through a flood like in the Bible. Also, controlling winged dragons is a concept already introduced to us in the story of One Piece, with Vegapunk trying to recruit them, as well as the horn being used to control the winged dragon in Oda's one-shot monsters. Uranus in Greek mythology is known to be the ruler of the skies. Who else has the title ruler of the sky? Dragons. During Roger's final voyage, he acquired an egg almost a quarter size of his ship. I don't think I'm the only person out there who thinks this could be a dragon egg. All of these points are to show the importance of dragons in the story.
I heard theories of that being Shirahoshi, but I don't think that's it now, because again, I forgot, like Roger was way too early for Shirahoshi, so yeah, I don't think that was Shirahoshi.
And how I think it's much more relevant than most people would believe them to be. Thus, with a skewed knowledge of Uranus and the other ancient weapons, the 20 kingdoms banded together to protect the world from them, even though these weapons were being used for benevolent reasons. I think it's only logical to assume that probably not all 20 kingdoms were so great and actually cared about uniting purely for this reason. So the 5 Elder Stars probably persuaded them by offering them the highest stature of royalty atop the Red Line, the offer to become gods. Joy Boy became aware of their plan before the massacre took place. Because of this, he confided in his friends of the Kazuki clan to etch the true history in the poneglyphs so that their story may live on, even if the memory of them was erased from the entire planet. And the ones who would carry his will eventually can learn how to make their shared dream a reality. The Kazuki also entrusted the Mink tribe with the road poneglyph, who we know also had a very close relationship with them. He sent an apology to Fishman Island for not being able to bring them to the surface, along with another road poneglyph. He entrusted the Shandians with the location of Poseidon, and due to his ability to sense the true intentions of people, he entrusted the Nefeltari line with the location of Pluton. This action by Joy Boy led the rulers of Alabasta to refuse the offer to become celestial dragons, since their goal was never to have more power in the first place. The other 19 kingdoms were greedy, and after the war was over, they took the offer to become celestial dragons. This was also the time the 5 Elder Stars created the world government. Yes, not the 19 kingdoms. After all, we know who really pulls the strings in this world. It only makes sense that they are the ones who created the power structure that they rule.
Somebody blasting that music, man. Hear that bass from in here with the headphones. I can hear it through the headphones.
Over. This new world power known as the world government would spend the next 800 years concealing any and all evidence of the Great Kingdom and their weapons, whilst maintaining a tight grip on the world so that these powers never have the chance to resurface again. They created the faction of the Marines to be a deterrent against those who would try to go against their oppressive rule, and thus the world we know of today was born. Joy Boy knew of the power of shared dreams and will, and how they would never die. This is what we know to be the will of D, which would be passed down from generation to generation until a time when the next Poseidon, Uranus, and the man with the will of Joy Boy are born all at the same time to bring back the dawn of the world and fulfill this shared dream to unite everybody. Rayleigh said that Roger and the people of O'Hara were too hasty, as well as saying the Straw Hats may come to a different conclusion than they did. What if the One Piece is just as ambiguous as its name, and could represent different things depending on the person's interpretation of it? The One Piece could be the Rio Poneglyph, the last missing piece of the true history, or it could be the destruction of Reverse Mountain and Mary Joie, uniting the world as one. But one
That was always kind of my speculation for it, like to being a poneglyph with pretty much everything you need, like everything, the most important aspect of like the world history, you know, because all the poneglyphs have history on it, but it would be the one poneglyph that gives you every important aspect of history, as well as how to pretty much unite the world, you know. Let's continue.
One thing that makes a lot of sense is the reason why Roger wished he was born in Joy Boy's time is because Joy Boy's kingdom was basically the embodiment of Roger's dream. The reason why he laughed could have been due to the irony of he and Joy Boy's situation, knowing everything but not being able to do anything about it. Still, so many questions remain. Where is the One Piece? Where is Laugh Tale? I think it's gonna be fun to look back on this video years from now and see how close we actually came or how far we were from the truth. If you're curious to know whether or not the One Piece live action is going to be possible.
Alright, let me make sure it'll give him a like, and I'm gonna subscribe, you know, see what else he got, you know, maybe we'll react some more to some of his, you know, some of his other videos. But yeah, But yeah, all right, so that's that. Make sure y'all go hit that link and show your boys some love and hit that like button for him, you know. You know, especially if you rock with me, you know. Like the content, you know. As far as the video, the video was really like packed with a lot of different information, right? You know, like it wasn't as much devil fruit stuff. Like we didn't really talk a lot about devil fruit. There was like a portion of it that we talked about devil fruits, but a lot of it we talked about like Zebek. We talked about God's Valley, the God's Valley incident. We talked about Mary Joa, the tree. We talked a little bit about the Adam and Eve tree, but you know it was a lot of information. It was a good video though. You know, it gave different perspective for a couple different things, right? As far as what happened in the God Valley incidents, I'm definitely ready to, you know, learn more about that. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing that situation in the manga and eventually the manga, because I definitely want to see how Garp and Roger were able to defeat Zebek, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Kaido, whoever else was on Zebek's crew at the time. I don't remember if Shiki was on there, but him as well if he was there. As far as the Adam and Eve tree, I pretty much agree with what he said. I believe that we know that the Eve tree is on the top of the red line, right? And its roots is what gives Fishman Island the sunlight, the light, you know, almost imitating the sun. So we know that. As I agree that I do believe that Adam, the Adam tree is most likely going to be in Elbaf, you know, because of some of the clues that we got of Adam being in a war-torn country, a country that's has a lot of fighting in it, right? And that's what Frankie said. Frankie said that's where the Adam tree was. So I definitely agree with that. Cube says, going off, my body is betraying me, LOL. See you next time. Hey man, shout out to Cube. Appreciate you getting on the stream today. I'm about to wrap this up, but yeah, man. Appreciate you showing up, man. Appreciate every time you show up. I know it's tough. I know sometimes it might be tough because you work and everything. But man, have a good night, man. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna probably take a break. I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. But yeah, so as far as the One Piece, I think I kind of agree with, like, it could be a plethora of things, right? It could be a couple things. I personally think that it might be a big poneglyph with, you know, instructions pretty much saying how to unite the world, how to destroy the Red Line, as well as having other information as well, you know. And what else did he say that I wanted to point out as well? Dang man, he threw a lot. He threw a lot out there. But yeah, you guys let me know what you thought of the video. You know, if you really rock with it, go to the link. I did share the link to the video in the description box, so make sure you go like his video, and that'd be appreciated. That'd be appreciated, man. I'm just talking. But yeah, anyway, it's your boy Sean Peter Bluff got hey, and yeah, so tomorrow, like I told Cube, I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna take a break, you know. But we will be back on Thursday. Make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe and hit that bell for notification if you aren't already subscribed. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook page as well. If you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be in the description as well as the link to the original video. If you guys want to send me videos, like if you're a content creator and you want me to, if you got like a cool theory or just something interesting you want me to react to, you know, it'd be best to probably share in the Discord, right? Or you could message me in the Discord, message it to me in the Discord, or one of my other social media pages as well. That works just as fine. Just make sure if you send it to me, it's like a lengthy, at least 10 minutes. If not, maybe send me a couple links to, you know, if it's like less than 10 minutes, send me like one or like 2 or 3 of them. If it's less than 10 minutes, you know, if each video you send me is less than 10 minutes, maybe I'll just react to a couple of them, you know, because if it's too quick, you know, I don't want to have to do a whole stream for something that's like 2-3 minutes. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I will be, you know, in the next few weeks, I will be considering what's going to be the next giveaway I do. You know, let's just say the next 2 months, you know, that within the next 2 months, I'll probably have like, hopefully I'll find something that I think is suitable to do as a giveaway. But yeah. Anyway, I'm out of here, you guys. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Have a good Wednesday as well. Everyone that has to work, have a good Wednesday. Hope y'all have a good day at work. Y'all take care of yourselves. Anyway, I'm out.